Okay.
Hello and welcome to the News Minute. Today is a big day for Malayalam cinema as the Hema Committee report is finally out. For those unaware, Hema Committee is a first of its kind committee made by the state government to look into what's happening in the Malayalam film industry. And joining us are two members of the Women in Cinema Collective, Bina and Rima Kallingal, two warriors, I would say, who are fighting for this report to come out. It was submitted in 2019 and it has seen so many people protesting. Many people in the industry did not want this report to come out, but after legal battle, after all sorts of battle, the report is finally out. What is your first reaction to the fact that the report is out, Bina?
Oh, very happy. Uh, I mean, it's really a very important moment for us because this was the first thing as an organization when we got together. We felt very strongly that we know so much that happens in the industry, but does everybody know it? Is this the truth about the industry? Basically, even we doubted it sometimes. But that is why we wanted this Hema committee. And through that course of that Hema committee, we knew what was happening. Therefore, it's a very important moment because this is the first time that you're actually seeing or hearing the voice of the women who have gone and said, look, these are the problems we face. Whether it is sexual harassment, whether it is lack of pay, whether it is lack of dignity, it is the first time that women have spoken, and she has recorded all this. So I think it's a very, very, very important day, not only for Malayalam cinema. Dhanya, I have to
Exactly.
add that this is a day that cinema in India is going to mark, the day women's voices were out in the open.
Rima, did you actually expect the report will come out? Because we have seen so many hurdles, right? The last minute
Yeah.
cases till around 2:30, were you thinking the report will actually come out?
No,
No, we
we
thought
were
no.
actually, and we were really disheartened, Danya. We should. I mean, we were just sharing this document that we shared with the CM of Kerala, Pinarayi Vijayan, in 2017.
17.
It has been 7 years of following up, fighting this. There have been times when we have all given up. We wanted to, like, just move on and live a normal damn life. But uh, but I and hats off to these women here, Bina Paul, Sajda Madatil, Didi Damodaran, Anjali
Everybody.
Menon. No,
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 no, no.
no,
The
no.
WCC has stood
These
together.
people were, unwavering. They have been there throughout. They have led us, they have guided us. We couldn't have done it without these women. Seriously, they have held us together like nothing else.
So I want to go to a few parts of the report. Now I know that the media was discussing a lot about will big names come up. Everybody was looking at will names come out, right? For those watching, a lot of the parts of the report have been redacted. I think page 72 to 80, 81 to 100, which were the parts
Hmm.
where people
Hmm.
deposed about sexual harassment, has been completely redacted. But Bina,
Hmm.
there was a very disturbing part in this report where the HEMA committee says that several men who deposed before the committee said two things. One is that these complaints, even if there is sexual harassment, that is done by people who are not actually part of the industry. They do fake auditions. And the second was that there is perhaps no sexual harassment itself. So HEMA committee says that despite the men claiming so, we have actually found that even the big names of the industry do this. What are your thoughts on that?
Well, this is the truth of it. There is so much silence, Dhanya. This is the silence that we're trying to break. There's silence, there's deceit, and there's a kind of trying to pretend that all is good, all is good. And that is what we were. We knew it was not right. Everything starting from when the abduction happened, and we saw how the industry reacted. We have known that there is this kind of shroud of silence that is put onto us. So it's not surprising. It's not surprising that we know that men have said that it is okay. We've been told many times that we are troublemakers, that we are just trying to find fault. But again and again, we want to say that this is not to destroy the industry. This is to
Yeah.
build an industry, to build a modern industry, not to sit on your old feudal past, but to say there is new way of looking, there's a new way of working, and we have to use those systems and methods now to work together. So it's
Right,
not a
Rima,
Daniel.
disruption, you
Yeah,
see, to think that
yeah.
we
No,
should
one
be
more thing I wanted
proud, I
to.
feel,
Hmm.
that this is happening in Kerala, that this is happening in our industry. This is, I think, the first time that anything like this has come out in the history of cinema in itself. So, and it
Hmm.
wouldn't have been possible if it was not in Kerala, if it was not these people, this media that supported us. I don't think it would happen
absolutely
anywhere else.
So,
women's
Rima, one more thing I want to,
organizations, yeah,
yeah, I want to ask
Yes.
one more thing in connection with what the men, apparently a lot of men also deposed before the committee because the committee keeps saying men. So they also said that, look, sexual harassment is something which happens in other industries also. It is not unique to the film industry. So what Hema committee says is that that is not true. And they actually have an entire section where they talk about how a lot of women who deposed before the committee said that when they are on a film set, they are sleeping in the night in their rooms, people would come and knock on their doors in the midnight. Sometimes that knock will be so violent, so aggressive that women feared that the doors would be broken. And Hema committee says that there is no other industry. If you're an IT employee, you're not subjected to this kind of harassment. What would you have to say about that, Rima?
No, see, this is the only industry where we stay, like, we all live together as a unit, and we are away from homes. And if you have noticed, I still remember when I joined the industry, I was known for traveling alone to my work set. It was a novelty. They were like, "Oh, you're alone. You travel alone," and I was like, "Yeah, I'm going for work. Why would I bring my parents along?" So that so why does a woman have to travel with a escort is a question, right? That answers a lot of questions that we are asking today. So it is a very different kind of an industry. The power dynamics is so skewed. um, the way the industry runs, the whole, right now we don't have this whole production system. I mean, where a production house handles everything. There was a time when actors used to live inside a production house's a set, and just live as a worker there during old production studio systems. But that doesn't happen anymore. But even
Hmm.
then, you know I feel it is very, very difficult uh, to just brush this aside, but we have to really look at our industry separately, and and look at our work conditions very separately. It can't be clubbed along with a lot of other industries. Yes, that is true, but I think the power dynamics of a society is skewed, and that
Be,
reflects in
yeah.
every industry out there.
Bina, because Rima was using the word power, that's the word which continuously comes in the report also. The report clearly says that there are power structures, there are very powerful people. It says there are 10 to 15 people who control the Malayalam industry. And if you do not, there's apparently a male actor, a superstar male actor who has also spoken in the industry, who has said that I was also banned from cinema because I was not agreeable to this power 15. So would you believe that now that the report is out in public domain, that there could be some difference, that this whole 10 to 15 powerful people would think that they should not exert the power as they were doing before?
well, I think also we have to keep in mind that the HEMA report uh, was the data collection was done about 4 or 5 years ago. And I think the presence of WCC has made a change. So to think that it was like it is 5 years ago may not be entirely true. She's gone.
No, no, I'm very much here. I'm very much here. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
So may not be entirely true. There has been a little change. It's not enough, but there has been a slight change. I think, as far as power dynamics, etc., concerned, the difference with the industry is that this is there is a kind of media hype. There's so much glamour. There's so much. So there's a lot of kind of attraction to this industry, right? So a lot of people who want to come here think that they're coming for other reasons, and there is exploitation of that weakness, that vulnerability, which is the worst, which I think is the worst, that you think that you're going to get a role, or you're going to, do something, and you are exploited for that desire or your ambition or your, need to perhaps be an artist. So I think these are the the big problems. But certainly we think there is change, imminent change. We
Yeah.
also see it among the younger filmmakers today. You talk to a lot of the younger artists today, they, or not only artists, technicians, etc. Everybody is saying Malayalam cinema has um, you know a new culture slowly coming in. But we must not forget that that still exists.
It does.
Rima, to the extent that the committee says that even if you form internal committees or ICs in movie sets, the
Mhm.
committee is doubtful that the ICs can work because these power structures, especially controlled by producers who are part of this, they call it the mafia, by the way. And apparently, one of the actors called it the mafia. That the mafia will not even allow the ICs to function. Do you fear that anymore?
See, in the current scenario that we have, IC is a step forward, Danya. There is no doubt about it.
Absolutely.
Because yeah,
It is
because
the
right
law
now
of the land.
yeah, and as of now, there is no mechanism. If you have a complaint, there is nothing you can do about it. So with an IC in place, at least there is a space where you can go talk about it, and you can do it anonymously too, which is a huge thing. Which is a
Hmm.
huge thing because a lot of us are quiet. A lot of them don't speak up because they fear that they lose their jobs, which is a very valid thing for a new person who's just maybe waited for 10 years to get a role. They,
Hmm.
Or
of course,
even to
for
be
somebody,
a makeup artist, or to do a assistant camera person. You see,
anything.
women, yeah, I think also this focus on only actors is wrong.
Yes.
You have to look at the film industry as a whole, and this is happening consistently. Whether you're an actor, whether you're an assistant director, whether you're an assistant makeup artist, you are considered easy
Like
prey.
Dhanya,
And
in between all of this, while we were doing all of this, there were three makeup artists who approached us saying that they were not getting a makeup card just because of their gender. Women were not given makeup cards, and FEFCA had to take it up in the end after there was a lot of discussion and hue and cry about it, and now women have been
so
given
this
cards
is a
finally.
systemic problem, yeah.
It's a
But
systemic problem.
Bina, does it also feel like a validation? Because for many years, you all have been shouting from the rooftops that there is a systemic
Totally.
problem, that there is
Of
a,
course, of
if I can use
course,
the
of
word
course.
mafia. Yeah, yeah. Hmm.
Yeah. So it's not me and Rima saying it now. It is somebody who has studied the industry who is saying it. There are
Hmm.
systemic problems. Take note. This is not a modern industry. This belongs to some age that, where which is far gone. Laws of the land don't apply, you know. So it's time that this was looked at clearly.
So Minister Saji Cherian, I think, reacting to the report today, when he was asked, will any action be taken? He said that the women who have complained, if they want to come ahead and talk to the police and give complaints, and then further action will be taken. How do you all see that?
I'll say this. I mean,
Hmm.
I don't know if Rima is going to say what I'm saying. This for us was not a witch hunt. The Hema Committee report is not a witch hunt. Certainly, we hope that the women feel more empowered now to speak up. This is what we hope. Now, whether they will or not is not the point, but we hope that there is now a little more empowerment. You see, because it's not easy. They think it's very easy. Go and report, go and complain, go to the police station, sit all night in the police station, get your dignity torn to shreds. You think it's easy to complain? It's not an easy thing. We think that this able to at least take this first step, talk to the committee, will empower you. Whether it will lead to litigation, etc., is of course individual choice.
And not just that, Danya, I want to add that, it's not just about the women who have already complained. What can a government here, a ministry, a culture ministry here, do for the cinema industry as a whole to make sure that this doesn't happen anymore? Come on, we have studied this for the last 4.5 years now. Okay, there are recommendations. As an industry, what changes can they bring? It's a government that is built on the shoulders of workers. We are talking about workplace rights. What can they do about that?
Hmm. Bina, I'll wrap up with one or two questions. One thing I want to ask is that the other day I was in a talk show where Rahul Ishwar, who appears for all men, I guess, these days, he was continuously asking that can Nayanthara and me be paid the same amount? So how can people demand the same amount? Now, Hema
This
Committee
is
actually
this is a fallacious argument. This is like comparing apples and oranges. We are not talking only of actors. We are talking of every single person in this workforce who has explicitly seen this kind of difference. We are not idiots. We are not talking about, we are not talking out of the blue. We do know the value of our labor, and we do believe that our labor is undervalued when compared to certain other people, right? That is our point. We don't want him to be paid what Nayantara is paid, and we don't want Nayantara to. We hope that Nayantara knows that she's paid much more. That's not the point. The point is to look and understand how there is a viewpoint about how women contribute in contribution is inferior. That is the problem. Whether you're an actor, whether you're an art director, whether you're an assistant director, whether you're an extra, whether you're an editor, there is a difference that is unacceptable. Dubbing artists. So these are the questions we are raising. We are not saying that Nayantara and Rahul Ishwaran need to be paid the same.
Rima, one thing the committee says is that look at the hours that people put in. Yes, market factors are different for each person,
Mhm.
respect of gender, but look at the hours that people have put in. And there should be contracts in place that women are not even given contracts for their employment. And sometimes the money that is agreed upon orally is not given to them.
Yeah, I think that happens irrespective of you being, I
Gender
think irrespective of gender. But I think nowadays contracts are strictly in place. ICs are being,
falling into place.
yeah. It, it
This is
is
what I'm
getting
saying. There
better. It
is
has got
change.
better.
WCC has made a change.
Hmm.
It is happening, yes, but we're far from being a respectable workspace. Like how I keep joking about this, but it's not a joke because after Premalu's success, everybody's like Naslan has got into the 100 crore club. So I'm asking, what club did Mamita get into? Nobody talks about that. Like her contribution to a film is completely it's not even seen. I do not get how can it you in how does it become invisible like that? I do not understand that at all.
Yeah, I think that is finally the bottom line, Dhanya. We are talking about invisibilization. We are talking about dignity of labor. The fact that every time you go and you are told that you can't, oh, cinematographer is a woman. Ayyo, that is the fight we are fighting. That we are not, we have as much skills, as much, I mean, the playing field should be level. If I'm not a good cinematographer, it should not be because I'm a woman or I'm not considered bad because I'm a woman, but because maybe I am a bad cinematographer or an editor in my case. So this is what we're saying. Give everybody a level playing field. Which era are you living in, for God's sake? Women are going to the to space. Does anyone say you can't? Or you women are doctors working all night saving lives. I mean, what? Where do these
Hmm.
attitudes? This attitude has to change. The attitude has to change. And I think a few shocks like the Hema Committee report are important.
My
Few
final question to you,
jolts.
yeah, Rima, my final question, the jolt of the Hema Committee, do you think that will make cinema a safer place? Because at least people in Kerala, it was out there in the open for them to discuss, right? Before it was just about a rumor, it was speculation that there is exploitation or harassment. But now the committee has put it on record that yes, it is happening. And very concerningly, the committee says to girls and women, it's not just talking about women, they're also talking about minors. So the fact
Hmm.
that there are also minors who are going through this. So are
Hmm.
you hopeful that even if many recommendations are not taken seriously, that the fact that the committee report is out in the open itself will make cinema a safer space?
I am hopeful, Danya, for sure, but I really want to ask the government. We trusted them. There was this whole photo op that happened. And then the commission was put together. So many people's lives and careers were put at stake when they went and deposed. So much time and effort and tax money has been put into it. Then what happened? Why did we have to wait for so long for this report to come out? There's an Adur Commission report out there asking for a tribunal for cinema in specific. Why is it taking so long? How long do we wait for it? And we are going to keep asking this question, but I'm hopeful. If it happens, it is only going to happen in Kerala.
That's right. In Malayalam cinema,
In
Malayalam
Malayalam
cinema
cinema.
will show the way. I'm
Yes.
telling you, Malayalam
Yes.
cinema will show the way. We still have hope. We still have faith.
What would you want to happen next since the committee report is out now, Bina? What would you say ideally should happen now?
I think there will be, what we have heard is there's going to be a conclave. In the history of Kerala, any discussion on cinema, then gender has never been an issue. Gender has to be placed in that conclave, and very, very strong decisions on etiquette, on handling of the gender issue, the formation of ICs, all that has to be made mandatory through this conclave, at this conclave. The cinema policy has to include gender as an issue.
But do you think that will really
That's
happen
what I
considering the
think,
government
because
has shown reluctance? The
it
government
will
also has.
happen. It will happen. It will happen.
It will.
Hmm.
No, it will
It will
happen.
happen.
It will happen.
Okay, so that two WC members very hopeful. And let me tell you, if you've not read the entire report, the report does record WCC's place in history. It talks a lot about how what WCC has done in ensuring that these people come together, and also the fact that you were able to make a lot of people come and speak to the committee, men and women. That itself is, I think, applaudable. So congratulations,
You see,
WCC.
which was why it was so important. We used every single clout and manner we had to say, go speak. It's your chance. It's your chance to give your voice. And then for it to be nothing, to lie in some dusty cupboard, after so many women have gone and said, trusted WCC, trusted the committee, trusted the government, how could we let them down? So when we say we want this report, it is for all these women who really trusted and said, we are doing this not for ourselves, but for everybody else who's come.
And also, thank you, Danya. Thank you for your
Thanks,
unflinching support.
Danya. You're a
Yes.
you're
Yes.
a
You're a warrior in this.
soldier.
Yes. Yes.
Sure, thank
Thank
you.
you.
Thank you so much, and
Thanks.
thanks to
Yeah.
the audience. So we'll have more reports on the Hema Committee out on the News Minute and News Laundry. And yes, we'll keep asking the Kerala government what they plan to do with the committee report. Thank you very much.
Yes. Thank you for
Bye.
that.